Greetings. Welcome to the Black Philosophical Society. We're going to get right into it. First, I'm sure y'all like, what's up with the shades? Just doing some shit. I mean, actually, I got these bright ass lights going so y'all can see the reflection in the mirror, in the glasses. I thought I'd just try these, see if it makes it a little better, and they actually do. I never wear shades. I was like, here's a good reason to wear them, and they match my shirt. Fuck it. Plus, I think it might look cool on the thumbnail. Like, nobody looks cool like this talking about philosophy. Or somebody might see the thumbnail and be like, who the fuck is this blind dude talking about free will? Hey, either way, might get a click, right? Yeah, so I briefly mentioned in the homosexuality video that I posted on the Hip Hop Network that free will is incompatible with the Christian worldview. Really, with any view or any religion that stems from Judaism, an Abrahamic religion, right? You believe in an omnipotent, omnipresent being that has a divine plan, then you cannot have free will. Not in the sense that people typically mean it, not in the sense that y'all typically mean it when you use the words. You have the illusion of choice. And I've had this argument or this conversation with countless theists. I spent a lot of time in debate rooms. I spent a lot of time watching apologetic videos. And I also spent a lot of time debating with theists, challenging them on their beliefs. Just keep the sword sharp, right? And what I realize is this issue right here might be the issue that they are most confused about. So I decided that I need to address it. Hold fast. Irritating me. Pardon us. All right. Yeah, so a lot of theists are very confused about this topic. A lot of people, period. Like, most people just take for granted that we have free will. I was one of those people, right? It was just one of those things, like a lot of things, that I never questioned, was never challenged on, never really thought about. Just assumed it to be the case, especially coming out of Christianity myself. It was just something I was taught to believe that we have. Didn't know about determinism, soft determinism, or compatibilism, or none of that. So my views have changed on that. But let's lay it out. Let's walk through it, clear this up, hopefully, so less people are confused about it. So, as I mentioned, if you have an omni God that has a divine plan, if predestination is a thing, if our lives, the outcomes of our lives, I wish I had some of these scriptures pulled up. There's plenty of scriptures to back this up. I've had to show theists this too. Maybe I'll put a link in the description or put some up on the screen when I'm editing this. But scriptures make it pretty clear that before the earth was formed, God already knew how our lives was going to turn out. He knew who the elect were going to be. He knew who was going to choose him, who's going to reject him. He knows all of this. He knows what you're going to do before you do it. What else would it mean to be omniscient and have all knowledge? Now, some people try to change the definition of omniscience to make it a little easier to deal with, I guess, a little more logical. And they say God knows all true propositions. Yeah, I assume what they're trying to say is if it hasn't happened yet, it's not true. So God doesn't know that. Like, that's the only thing I can get from what they're saying. But that's just some weird way of trying to limit God. What's the argument for that? What's the contradiction? What is it about the future that is impossible, makes it impossible for God to know it? There'd have to be some logical contradiction there, some logical problem. I don't see it. But if it is the case that predestination is true or real, and that God is omniscient and omnipotent, he has all power, he has a divine plan. If everything happens according to his will be done, right? Not our will be done. Then what we're calling choice is meaningless. It's silly to call it a choice. And the way people somehow jump to the conclusion that when you say that, you're saying God is forcing you to do things. That's not the same thing. Like, to deprive you of a choice is not the same as forcing you to do a particular thing. And this is the way I try to lay it out and explain it to people. Like, imagine if you had multiple doors in front of you. I gave you a choice between door number 1, door number 2. It could be as many doors as you want, as long as there's more than one, and you are presented the option to choose between them. Now, I already know that these doors are going to lead you to the same destination, no matter which one you pick. You don't have no idea where they're going to lead. I might tell you one's going to lead you to a pot of gold, the other one's going to lead you to a fucking pile of diamonds. I don't know, whatever. But if I know that they're both going to lead you to a bottomless pit, do you really have a choice in that situation? Even if you decide not to pick a door, I got a plan for that. Like, I already know what's going to happen if you don't pick the door. Like, this is the thing, right? We have to take it a step further. Like, if I'm just a human who designed this maze, we can use a mouse. I've used this example too. I put a mouse in a maze, and there are different paths in this maze, different entry points, and different little paths that the mouse can take. But they all eventually lead back to the same exit point, right? So this mouse is in there thinking he's deciding which way to go, or he is deciding, right? He's making a choice about which way to go, but does he have a choice of where he ends up? So if you don't have a choice of where you end up, is that a free choice? What if you didn't want to go to the bottomless pit? Did you have an option to pick another door or go somewhere else? Yeah, you could have picked another door and it would have led you to the same place. That's what I'm saying. That's the illusion of choice. But in God's case, not only does he know where you're going to end up, he knew exactly which door you would choose, or if you would choose a door. Like, me as the human, I'm just working with possibilities, okay? Like chess. If they don't move here, then they're going to have to move here, here, and here, here, here. And I just have to plan for whichever way you might go. But that God doesn't have to do that. He knew before he made the trap or test, whatever you want to call it, the maze, knew exactly what you were going to do when I put you there. How is that a choice? How is it a free choice? Because that's what we're talking about. Free will. Your ability to choose what you want. Make it make sense. Explain to me how that's free will in any kind of way. If your choices ultimately lead to the outcome that God wants, then your choices are meaningless. They're irrelevant. What difference does it make what you choose if you're going to do what God wants anyway? You're never going to get what you want, regardless of what you choose.